right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
This is our community,
Amen.
and we want justice for Sonya Massey.
Justice for Sonya Massey.
Growing calls for justice and accountability tonight in central Illinois following the release of body cam footage showing the moments an Illinois sheriff's deputy shot and killed a black woman inside her own home. Tonight, that deputy is charged with murder. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. 36-year-old Sonya Massey called police earlier this month about a possible intruder in her home in Sangamon County near Springfield. What happened next and was recorded on the body cameras of 2 deputies is disturbing. These types of videos are hard to watch. However, it's important that we share it with you so you have the whole story.
We want to make sure you have proper warning on what you're about to see. 5 on Your Side's Brent Solomon joins us now to break down what happened, Brent.
Well, you know, tonight, former Deputy Sean Grayson is charged with first-degree murder for the July 6th incident in Springfield, Illinois. We here at 5 on Your Side carefully reviewed the body camera footage. Another warning, the video is disturbing. We are showing it out of transparency and accountability, and so that if you choose to watch it, you can understand what happened. The Sangamon County Sheriff's Office releasing this 34-minute video Monday. It begins with an officer searching around Sonya Massey's home. He checks a storage shed in her backyard. Officers eventually get to her front door. They have to knock a few times before she answers. They wait a few minutes and then call Massey to let her know they're there.
I hear her phone ringing. Sheriff's office.
They wait a little longer.
You come in the door or not? All right, hurry up.
Then she comes out.
Why would it hurt you? You called us. Okay.
She tells them she needs help after she heard someone outside. They tell her they checked the premises and didn't see anything.
Okay. I love you. Thank you. All right.
Deputies follow her inside the home. They ask for her ID, but it takes a while for her to find it. She walks to the kitchen and eventually picks up a pot. That's when things escalate.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from the hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
Rebuke you in the name of
You better I swear to God, I'll straight your
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the Drop the
Shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the females now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
No, your headshot, dude. She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. Yeah, I'm not taking boiling water. Hey, look, it came right to our feet, too.
The deputy who opened fire is also charged with aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. Moments after police released that video, I got in contact with retired St. Louis County Police Chief Tim Fitch to get reaction.
Very sad for the family, was my first response, and apologetic for the police profession to see this go so bad so quickly. It was a surprise to see it go. As you saw, it was literally seconds. He was laughing with her. Seconds later, he was shooting her. And there's a lot of unanswered questions after seeing that video.
The former chief is a consultant for other police departments. He makes it clear he's pro-policing. He's speaking out to say that what you saw in that video is not the standard.
This is an anomaly. This isn't what normally happens in these situations. And when these things do happen, like George Floyd and this situation and others, it makes big news, and it should, because it's an anomaly. This shouldn't be happening. So if this ever becomes routine and it doesn't make the news, that's when I'd be concerned.
Massey was not armed. None of the officers who responded were hurt.
And just hours ago, the community came together for Sonya Massey's family.
While they're outraged, they want to promote peace as they fight for justice. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski has more from a rally honoring her memory tonight in Springfield. And again, some of what you will see and hear is disturbing.
36-year-old Sonya Massey was at home alone when she thought she heard an intruder outside her house, so she called 911.
You're clear that I'm going to be both stacked to a prowler caller hears noises outside the house, wouldn't answer questions, hung up on us.
Attorneys for the family say instead of receiving help, she was killed at the hands of the very people she called to help her.
Units on scene are 1078, shots fired.
The Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy claims Massey was going to throw boiling water at them.
She says her last words, sorry, sir, I'm sorry. She ducks, and when she stands back up, he shoots her in the face.
Sonya Massey's father says she struggled with her mental health but had so much life left to live.
The only time I'm going to see my baby again is when I leave this world.
Family and friends say her senseless murder has outraged and rocked the community to its core.
We ask for transparency, but it saddens me that, the whole world gets to see her not only lose her life, but her dignity as well. And it just never should have happened. She should still be here.
Do you think that now that this happened, that people are going to be even more scared to call the police?
We've been scared. We've been scared. Even before they was in her house, she told them that she was scared.
So they marched for justice.
Organizers of the rally brought people together here in Comer Cox Park to fight for justice for Sonya Massey in a peaceful way. As they say, returning violence with violence is not the answer.
We had a lot of people standing behind us in solidarity with her family, so I'm really happy that everybody came out. We're having free haircuts. We got about 5 barbers doing free haircuts. We have 2 face painters and free food for the community.
Advocates even started a petition calling on officials to investigate the sheriff and his entire office.
We have to find out why we have such a man in office that cares nothing about these smaller communities, because these lives do matter.
Reporting in Springfield, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
And tonight, calls for justice in Sonya Massey's murder are being heard in Washington, D.C. Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski, who represents Sangamon County, called for accountability on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Like everyone who has seen the body camera footage on her final moments, I am shocked, horrified, and heartbroken. This was an appalling act of senseless violence that strikes at the core of our humanity.
U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois released a statement tonight after watching the body cam footage. It reads in part, "This sort of tragedy at the hands of law enforcement is all too common for Black Americans and is completely unacceptable and unjustifiable." President Joe Biden also released a statement saying, quote, "I commend the swift actions that were taken by the Springfield State's Attorney's Office. While we wait for the case to be prosecuted, let us pray to comfort the grieving." He's also calling on Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice and Police Act now.
The shooting, the circumstances, and the video is difficult to process. We talked with a trauma therapist who says it can create a range of emotions and trigger past traumas. Rochelle Shorter of Restore Counseling and Wellness talks about the toll of how this latest incident can affect us all, and particularly the African American community.
Even in the video, there was a lot of apologizing. I'm sorry, because we can't settle in these spaces. We're anticipating that something very well may happen. And so that keeps us very activated emotionally and mentally. So there's a lot of anxiety that builds inside of the body, individually and collectively, but individually, absolutely.
Schroeder offers some advice. If you feel you are taking in too much, avoid social media, breathe. And while it is good to have discussions about this, if you feel you've reached your capacity and are building on the anxiety and fear, you may want to reach out for mental health support.
A St. Louis man behind bars for more than 30 years for a murder he says he did not commit is now a free man. A judge overturned Christopher Dunn's conviction in the 1990 murder of 15-year-old Rico Rogers. The case was built on the claims of 2 young witnesses who later recanted their statements. The judge ordered Dunn to be released immediately. Tonight, a man is behind bars charged in a deadly shooting in North St. Louis. 64-year-old Gregory Allen is charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of 62-year-old Robert Allen. The shooting happened around 5:30 last night on Maffett Avenue near Euclid. Investigators have not released a motive.
New tonight, more than 4,000 people are out of work after General Motors stopped production at its Wentzville plant. A strike in a nearby seat assembly plant is causing a shortage of parts at the GM facility. Those workers say labor negotiations fell through between their union and the company Lear. GM released a statement saying they hope both sides come to an agreement quickly, and no other GM plants are currently impacted.
The clock is ticking on Mayor Tashara Jones' 120-day plan to protect and preserve the vacant Railway Exchange building in downtown St. Louis. Today is day 69 of that plan. In recent years, thieves have ransacked the 21-story condemned building on Locust Street. The city is now renting metal barricades visible on the first and second floor entry points. In addition, we learned today that the city is paying for 2 guards to provide 24-hour security.
There's a lot of pitfalls in there right now, so it's and reasonably why it's condemned. So there are some stairs that go up and then they just disappear. So you're not going to be able to make it all the way up and not be able to make it down.
The city of St. Louis is currently footing the bill for security upgrades and hopes to recoup that money through legal channels.
Passing the torch.
I'm watching you, kid. I love you.
I love you, Joe.
The growing support tonight for Vice President Kamala Harris to take over the top of the presidential ticket, and the call for her to take over the Oval Office now. Countdown to Paris, we're just days away from the pageantry and competition. And gold, silver, and bronze are not the only colors drawing people to the Olympic host country.
We've had just shy of 7.5 inches of rain officially in St. Louis so far, with more outside of the city, but that's our third wettest July. If the rain chances the next couple of days add to that tally, and how we're going to finish off the rest of the month.
One of the men involved in the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting faces new legal troubles tonight. A Jackson County grand jury added causing catastrophe charges to Lyndall May's case. He already faces second-degree murder and 2 armed criminal action charges. 2 other men face similar charges in the February attack that killed 1 woman and injured nearly 24 people.
Tonight, the race to replace President Joe Biden at the top of the Democratic ticket is shaping up, and it could be an historic one, with the first black woman as a potential nominee.
Are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity?
Vice President Kamala Harris rallied her campaign staff today. She's raised nearly $50 million in the hours after the president's historic announcement yesterday. Harris also received endorsements from several top Democrats, including her current boss. Just hours ago, the president made a surprise call to Harris, his first public comment since dropping out of the race.
I know yesterday's news was surprising and it was hard for you to hear, but it was the right thing to do.
Even though the president endorsed his vice president, she doesn't automatically get the nomination. Party leaders will now try to get delegates to unify behind one candidate. They could vote in a pre-convention roll call. If that's delayed or a candidate does get the majority vote, the decision will be made at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next month. If there is an early vote with no majority, the selection would be made at the DNC. If there is no nominee chosen before the DNC, Democrats would have their first open and contested convention since 1968, which was also held in Chicago. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, will be there to bring you this historic nomination. Look for his live reports from the DNC in Chicago starting August 19th.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says Republicans are unfazed by the change on the Democratic ticket. He is also calling on President Biden to make another big announcement.
She will not be tougher to beat. No, not at all. We're excited about Kamala being at the top of the ticket, and I have suggested that the president should resign. The reason is, if everyone acknowledges that he is incapable of running a campaign, then he's clearly incapable of running the country.
A poll taken within the last 24 hours shows Harris doing better than Biden against Mr. Trump. The race within the margin of error. The opening ceremony for the 2024 Paris Olympics just 4 days away. You can watch it here this Friday on 5 on Your Side.
More than 10,000 athletes from more than 200 countries are heading to the City of Lights to compete. That includes nearly 600 members of Team USA. Tonight, we know who will be one of those athletes to carry the Stars and Stripes during Friday's ceremony. NBA great LeBron James was named the male flag bearer. The female flag bearer will be named tomorrow. The host country, of course, is known for its history, its culture, and its beauty.
In the south of France, you can see an area bursting with the color purple. It is breathtaking. And tonight's journey to Paris, reporter Scott Swan and photojournalist Steve Rhodes check out the lavender fields that are also popular on Instagram.
The south of France kind of speaks for itself. Beautiful landscapes, historic villages. It's glamorous, it's timeless, and it's really beautiful.
Perhaps the only color that rivals the blue of the Mediterranean Sea is the burst of purple in Provence.
We're all suckers for flowers, like the bright purple is quite pretty, good photo ops, and obviously it smells pretty good.
Terra Ugo is a family-run field featuring 7 acres of lavender.
Ici, nous accueillons les touristes du monde entier pour venir découvrir les champs de lavande à Aix-en-Provence. Nous créons différents produits comme l'huile essentielle, les sachets de lavande.
The lavender products fuel the agro-tourism business here in France. But the stunning pictures on Instagram seem to be the biggest draw for visitors.
I guess you always see it online and like it kind of looks quite peaceful, a bit of a change from the fast-paced cities that we've been seeing, yeah.
There is a certain vibe in the south of France, a place that beckons the rich and famous. But beyond the vibe is a vibrant color during the summer months. The lure of lavender.
Beautiful. And our own Rennie Knott is on his way to Paris to cover the games. Look for his reports on Today in St. Louis, Friday at 6 a.m. And be sure to join Scott Connell and me for an Olympics watch party. We're teaming up with the St. Louis Sports Commission for the event. We'll be at downtown Summer Nights in Keener Plaza, August 8th from 5 to 8.
And of course, 5 on Your Side is your home to the Summer Olympics. For more on the events and when they're air, plus the latest on our local Olympians competing in Paris, all you have to do is text the word Paris to 314-425-5355.
Let's check in with meteorologist Gary Frank. He is in for Scott Connell tonight with the weather impact forecast.
Yeah, not all that bad for this time of the year, right? It could be way worse in July,
Yes,
way more
for
humid.
sure.
We're enjoying that, but we've dodged some hit and miss rain, and of course, it seems that time of the year where we have to talk about wildfire smoke. You may have noticed that in the sky, and I show you this time lapse just because of look at where the clouds, as they get that vertical movement, and then the sun sets, they kind of fall apart. That's what we've been dealing with. So that's phase one. The other phase is the fact that as the sun sets, watch how you can almost look at it. We never tell you to look at the sun, but you know, at that point, that's where the wildfire smoke is. That's why you saw that vibrant color. And this was from Beth, one of our weather watchers, our 5 on Your Side weather watchers. You can see that wildfire smoke is starting to thicken up. Prepare to see that tomorrow morning. I want to show you where this is coming from in northern Canada, you know, spots that are way warmer than here. We've watched this thicken up a little bit. You'll see that even in the morning. So keep that in mind. It's probably not going to impact your air quality too much unless you're extremely sensitive. A lot of this is lofted way above the surface. But when you're talking about temperatures at 80 degrees, warmer than it is in St. Louis, Fairbanks, Alaska at this hour, it's 84. So warmer in Fairbanks than it is in St. Louis, right? That's why they have the wildfires, the drought, things like that. We've been the total opposite, right? It's been raining off and on. We've had pop-up showers and storms, but it's calm right now. Temperatures at 76, like I said, Fairbanks, Alaska, warmer than us. Humidity is up a little bit, and still, it was 85 today. It's below average in the afternoon. Part of this wildly active pattern throughout the Midwest, watch 1 or 2 o'clock, multiple storms everywhere, not really going anywhere, and then watch sunset. They fizzle out. And that's what we're dealing with. The heating of the day, there's not much instability. There's not much of a driving force. However, this is one area that's a driving force, and it's not much of a spin, but you'll see that. That's going to be enough lift to create a few more storms, and then this is a weak cold front. Those two factors settle in for us the next couple of days. We'll start with tomorrow. hit and miss storms southeast of 44. They kind of fizzle out. A lot of people stay dry, but I think the further south you are, the better opportunity closer to that circulation you'll see some rain. So let's pick a few spots tomorrow, like St. Francis County, Farmington, Deloge, better opportunity for rain. When you get a little closer to home in St. Louis and around the city, that's where you're seeing temps in the mid-80s. Not as much of a rain chance, but I think by Wednesday, hit and miss storms, and then eventually Wednesday into Thursday, that front moves through, clears us out, and we kind of get rid of these hit and miss chances. Temps in the mid-80s Tuesday, 91. As that front moves through, we may see a few more storms. Nothing severe, no flooding, but they're just going to be kind of pulse thunderstorms that pop up. And then it returns to more of an August-like feel, but nothing too significant yet.
All right, Gary, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
I have advice for the Cardinals. We'll show you some of these special new SLU basketball players in action, and we'll hear from an Olympic diver from St. Louis.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Here's the thing. I don't want to be negative on the Cardinals. In fact, I will finish this sportscast being positive. But you had to win this game in Pittsburgh tonight, because tomorrow the Pirates are throwing Paul Skeens, who may have the best right arm on the planet, and Wednesday is a bullpen start for the Cardinals. Now, the following praise has nothing to do with his last name ending in a vowel. Andre Palante was really good again. 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 Ks, and 1 run. Here's the Cardinals' 1 run. Nolan Gorman blasted one to right. Weird stats. 19 home runs and hitting .206. The Pirates will win it here. John King on the mound, Nick Gonzalez base hit. It will score Brian Reynolds. Pirates win 2-1. They're 1 back of the Cardinals. Last year, SLU basketball lost 20 games. Josh Schertz won 32 games at Indiana State. So now Schertz has to figure out a way to do what he did there and bring it here. I have a feeling he will. He's the smartest basketball mind I've been around since Rick Majerus. Schertz had a scrimmage today at Shavitz, and it was open to the public, and there was a nice crowd on hand. Something old, how about Gibson Jimerson? He couldn't miss. He had 4 threes. Something new from Indiana State, Isaiah Swope. This young man can really play. He had 6 threes tonight. Some more new. Transfer Kalu Anya from Brown. He has some skills. He had 18 points. It was an impressive display of offensive basketball, and Robbie Avila says this system is just fun.
Yeah, it's the ultimate freedom within the system. You know, obviously we play the principles. You know, it's not going to be just chaos out there, but allowing us to kind of play and read the game like we would if we were in, the pros and stuff like that. You know, to be able to play in that kind of system like that is amazing.
Team USA versus Germany in London in a friendly. Jason Tatum glides baseline for the finger roll. He had 4 points today. Shot of the game, Devin Booker takes the contact. That is impossible. Wow. LeBron James, 39 years old, took over in the final 4 minutes, willing his team to victory. He finished with 20. U.S. wins it 80-76. Finally tonight, the trade deadline in Major League Baseball is 8 days away. This is what I don't want to hear. Oh, don't give up a prospect. This Cardinal team isn't good enough to win it anyway. Look, the Diamondbacks and Phillies have proved the last 2 seasons you don't have to be great in the regular season to get to the World Series. Be like the bartender in Rocky 1. You want me to take a shot? I'll take a shot. You add a few arms and just hope that Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado hit like they have their entire careers. If that happens, you have a shot. And that's frankly speaking. We'll be right back.
Well, McDonald's $5 value meal is apparently driving customers back to the Golden Arches. The fast food chain now extending the promotion through August. It was originally supposed to last just 4 weeks to give customers a break from those rising restaurant prices.
Here's something for breakfast tomorrow. Schnucks has extended a spicy new offering at its bakeries. The supermarket chain introduced a red-hot Riplets Long John for National Donut Day last month. The salty and sweet donuts have been a big hit. A regular potato chip version is also offered.
Gary has one final check of our weather.
Yeah, not too hot over the next few days. Just kind of pretty normal for July. We've been a little below average the last couple of days. There'll be less clouds tomorrow than we had today, but it's still possible a few of them will pop up a storm here and there. As a weak front passes Wednesday, that may be our best opportunity, but from Tuesday to Thursday, there's going to be a lot of dry time. Some people miss out on the rain completely like they did today, and then we end that pattern, and it does get hotter to finish July and start off August.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.